Welcome back to this free mini matched betting masterclass. Now this video is part 2. If you haven't already watched part 1, then I highly recommend you go and check that out before continuing any further. Now hopefully you understand how profitable matched betting can be. But before we go any further, it's important that you understand how it actually works. But don't worry, it's super simple. In our community, we see it all the time. The number one reason why people fail at match betting is they fail to understand the basics. By understanding this, it will make the rest a lot easier. Match betting works by covering all possible outcomes of an event to lock in guaranteed profit or at very worst, breaking even. Take this for an example. So here is an example of an arbitrage bet, which is a very simple type of matched bet. Now the word arbitrage actually means taking advantage of different prices, or in this case, different odds. And that is exactly what we are doing. So as you can see here on the left, we have Sky Bet, and on the right, we have Bet365. In both bets, we're betting on Portugal shots. Now on the left, we are betting on Portugal to have 16 plus shots, which means 16 or more. On the right, we're betting on Portugal to have under 15.5 shots, which means 15 or less. They just call it 15.5 to avoid any confusion as to whether it includes or excludes 15. So as you can see, regardless of how many shots Portugal have, one of these bets has to win. If they have 1 to 15 shots, Sky wins on the left. And if they have 16 or more shots, Bet365 wins. In this outcome, Portugal finished on 17 shots and the Sky Bet won. As for the profit, our total outlay was the stakes combined, so 44 plus 100 is £144. Now the winning bet, as you can see, returned £264, meaning our total profit was the difference, a huge £120 profit. If Bet365 had won, we would have broken even and lost no money at all. It is really that simple. Anyway, back to the video. A key tool to help match bettors are betting exchanges. Now, here's a very brief overview on how betting exchanges work. Instead of betting against the house or a bookmaker, you can bet against another user of the platform, like you or I. You can choose to bet on something, that's known as backing, or you can choose to bet against something, that's called laying. Take this as an example of an exchange bet. So for the purposes of this video, the exchange I'm going to be using is Smarkets, but other exchanges are available too. And don't worry, I'm going to explain this as simple as I possibly can. So after creating an account and loading up the website, this is what it looks like. Now, a couple of things to point out here. If we navigate to a race here, all of these down the left-hand side are different horses running in this race. The green boxes are for backing a bet, like we just mentioned, and the blue boxes are for laying a bet, so betting on something to not happen. Backing works in the exact same way as a normal bet. So if we put £10 in here at odds of 2.38, we can expect a return of £23.80, like normal. Now, as I mentioned previously, the principle of an exchange is you are betting against another individual, like you or I, rather than against a bookmaker, so there are no margins. This also means whatever the other person bets and wins, you have to pay them, and whatever you bet and win, they have to pay you. So until the bet settles, you don't know who's going to win. So you both have a liability until it settles. So we can see that in action if we move over to a lay bet here, one of the blue bets. So this bet against conjecture would win if any other outcome happens other than conjecture winning the race. So we're betting against conjecture to win the race. Now, if we type in £10 here, we can see we have what's called a liability of £13.60, like I just mentioned. So I'm going to bet against somebody else, and if they win, I'm going to pay them £13.60. Now, the thing that confuses people the most is this word here, stake. When you bet on a bookie, you type in an amount and they tell you how much you could win based on that stake. When you place a lay bet on an exchange, it is the opposite. You type in the amount you want to win, so £10, and they tell you what your outlay needs to be in order to win that £10. So here, £13.60. It'll become much clearer when I show you a real match betting example in a moment. So here we have a bet on Archivist to win the race on Bet365 at odds of 6 to 4. An outlay of £12.50 returns £31.25. If the horse wins the race, this bet will win. Now down here we have Smarkets, like I just showed you. To cover all potential outcomes, we need to place a bet that wins if the horse fails to win the race. That way, whichever position the horse finishes, one of these two bets will win. We can do that by laying the horse. Now remember, a lay bet is betting on something to not happen. Now here we've got the blue side. If we lay the horse to win at odds of 2.06, our outlay is £13.25 liability down here. If the horse fails to win the race, this bet will return £25.75. By quickly doing the maths, we can see our outlay is $13.25, the liability, plus $12.50, which was our stake on Bet365. That's $25.75. We can also see that we're going to get back either $25.75, the return on Smart Kits, or $31.25, the return on Bet365. At very least in this situation, we will break even if the horse fails to win the race. However, if the horse goes on to win, we will profit the difference, which is £5.50. Now, these opportunities are fairly common, so we can stack small repeatable wins like this £5.50. Anyway, back to the video. To do this properly, here are the tools you'll need: an account with a bookmaker, an account with an exchange, and a notifier of match betting opportunities, such as a community, but more on that later. These tools help to calculate everything for you and identify the best offers. Now, hopefully you understand the core mechanic behind match betting, placing a back bet, placing a lay bet, and using the difference to unlock free bets. In the next video, I'll walk you through some real offers step by step so you're well on your way to making your first £100 profit. See you in the next video.